We welcome in ESPN college football insider Bruce Feldman. Bruce, what specifically are these recruiting services?
Michelle, here's what you need to know about this. All schools subscribe to recruiting services. They may spend between $5,000 and $15,000 for each service. What they get is like a vast high school film database, depending on a state or a particular region. Those are legitimate. But what the NCAA is really adamant about containing is this, you want to call like the AAUization of college football, where they are worried about middlemen and street agents creeping in, and where this is kind of spread out in just the last couple of years is you have a lot of recruiting services that operate in the gray area, and what some of them are is de facto shuttle services, where if you pay them $5,000, $10,000, part of what they may offer is to ensure that you get top blue chip kids, recruits to come to your summer camp or take unofficial visits, get to your campus, and then you have a chance to woo that kid and convince him. And so really what they're doing is they're providing a relationship in with these kids. It's much different than, 10 years ago with some of these recruiting services, what most people were subscribing to. Now you have some of these, like I said, they operate in a gray area. They're relationship-based, and the NCAA is definitely very concerned about it.
Okay, so these recruiting services are legit, Bruce. Then what specifically is the NCAA looking at with regards to Oregon?
Well, I think what they're going to try to determine is who is legitimate and who is not in this case. And the questions they're going to ask is, Oregon says that this particular Willie Lyles service had been vetted, but what the NCAA is going to want to know is who else bought Willie Lyles' recruiting service. And also, for $25,000, which is quite a bit, what exactly did Oregon think they were getting in terms of film database, how much? Then when you get down to a little more of the more nuanced stuff, is his relationship with Lake Seastrunk, a five-star running back recruit. Did Lake Seastrunk, from a humble background in Texas, did he take unofficial visits to a lot of schools? Did he take unofficial visits to Oregon, where you have to pay your own way? If so, did Willie Lyles accompany him with him? I mean, those are the things that I think Oregon is going to have to prove that there is a legitimate quality to this. Obviously, they paid on the record for it, but now how legitimate is this service that they bought? I mean, on one level, it seems legitimate. On the other things, there's a lot of question marks about spending so much for a guy with a very limited background in terms of traditional recruiting services.
ESPN college football insider Bruce Feldman with the very latest on the NCAA investigation into the Oregon Ducks.